Avenir is a global career guidance event to empower students and assist them in identifying their ideal future career path. It was conceptualized by the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Sultanate of Oman. The first Avenir was organized at Indian School Al Mabala in the year 2018. In 2019, Indian School El Seeb conducted the program. Indian School Muscat conducted the first virtual Avenir in the year 2020. Avenir 2021 was conducted virtually by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. In 2022, the flagship school in Oman. Indian School Bosher is all set to fly the flag higher by conducting Avenir 2022 in hybrid mode. Our impeccable planning, devoted team, unmatched resources guarantee a memorable event. The 5-day event will be held from Thursday, October 13, 2022 to Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Prominent achievers, educators, and industry experts will address the audience. Universities and educational institutes from different corners of the globe will present themselves to the audience of Avenir 2022. The event is open to all educational boards, including CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. It will provide comprehensive career guidance to students to pursue their passions at national and international universities. Avenir 2022 guarantees a wealth of information and awareness on 21st century courses, scholarships, internships, and career placements. This event will assist students in discovering their ideal future career path. Let us gather together for this 5 days of excitement, effulgence, enlightenment, exploration, and exaltation. Let's join Avenir 2022 to discover you.
The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. For in all the states of created beings capable of law, there is no law, there is no freedom. Good evening, one and all. Let me walk you over the listings of the session we have today. The mega event, Avenir 2022, #DiscoverYou, hosted by Indian School Bosher, under the aegis of Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. A short introduction on a distinguished speaker will appear after the welcoming message. We will then invite the distinguished speaker to make her presentation. Following the lecture, we'll ask our special guest to participate in the question and answer segment, where the questions of the audience will be put forth by the moderator. The university representative will take up the ongoing session. There will be a description of the courses that are offered and the admission procedure. With a vote of thanks, we'll call the meeting to a close.
There is no greater tyranny than that which is perpetrated under the shield of the law and in the name of justice. Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Avenir 2022, #DiscoverYou, a global career guidance program launched by Indian School Bausha under the aegis of Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman. On behalf of Indian School Bausha, I, Aisha of Grade 8,
and I, Anuradha of Grade 9,
take the proud privilege of expressing a profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the altruistic and noble benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower His choicest blessing on His Majesty, and may this nation experience peace and everlasting prosperity.
We are happy to welcome all the students, parents, and teachers for being a part of Avenir 2022, #DiscoverYou. Thank you one and all for your benign presence here this evening. It is with sheer joy and great pride that I take the task of introducing our speaker today, Shri PUNEET CHATURVEDI. Shri PUNEET CHATURVEDI has been working as an argument counselor for 32 years, appearing before the Bombay High Court and Supreme Court of India. He has taught law, LLM, at University of Mumbai and LLB at the Government Law College, Mumbai. His speeches and writings have received high praises. He has led Vedantic workshops in a variety of locales. He publishes essays on Vedantic concepts. As well, you can visit his YouTube channel, PUNEET CHATURVEDI Advocate, for more information. We would like to request the audience to kindly post their queries in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me in welcoming our speaker, Shri PUNEET CHATURVEDI, who will be talking on the topic, Law as a Career in the Digital World. The platform is all yours, sir.
Thank you so much for providing an opportunity on such a grand platform where I'd be addressing the students belonging to grade 9 to 12. Before this presentation, I was witnessing the presentation of the wonderful premises of your school. It really gives me a great pleasure. But at the same time, I'm amazed that the two girls who had been presenting the program or initiated belong to class 8 and class 9. I salute to the teachers, faculty, and trainers of the Indian school who have trained their students so well that I went back to the flashback of my days when I was in 8th standard or maybe 9th standard. I mean, by today's presentation, I think we couldn't have uttered a single word. But the way these two girls began the program, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the photographs of your school, the spick and span library, computer room, the swimming pool, the classrooms, the playgrounds. I wish I could go back in age and join your school as a student. Besides that, being a lawyer belonging to 4 generations from the field of law, "32 years I have put in. But when I began in the field of law, there were no computers. So we had to slog in the library from morning 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock, 12 hours at a stretch, to find one important, relevant ruling. Our seniors at that time, under whom we were training, they used to just give us a problem with a direction to find out a relevant ruling, either of the Supreme Court or of high courts. And we had to turn the pages of almost 100 books to find one ruling of any use. The times have changed. Today, with the advent of computers, there are several softwares. The Supreme Court of India is online. The High Court rulings are available. And so wonderful search engines are there that one has to just put one word or one question, and within seconds you get an answer or the relevant ruling. I don't know what transformed within this span of 20 to 25 years that the young children which I meet or come across I'm amazed and astonished with the kind of sharpness they possess. Maybe the teachers are wonderful, or the methods of training have become wonderful, or there is a metamorphosis, change in the whole system. There's a younger generation, or the young interns working in my office. sometimes give such wonderful suggestions that one wonders, oh, is it so easy? Today, my father is not alive. He was a great lawyer of his era. Had he been there, he would have been more astonished. We used to work so hard to understand the concepts, the complicated concepts of law, which today's generation grasps so easily. I've been invited in various institutes, various colleges of law, to address young budding lawyers, the students of law. I've been fortunate to have invited by the various bars, bar of law. The kind of questions they put reflect the level of their IQ, the intelligence. Therefore, I'm very hopeful that the law and the courts of law have a very bright future. When the brilliant students like you join the faculty of law, ever, if you choose to become lawyers or judges or law officers, either in the government sector or in the corporate sector, the kind of brilliance you possess already, which I said that it's simply, you need just one sample to assess the entire stock. If two students of 8th and 9, the way they presented the program are so brilliant, I could gauge and assess what the entire stock must be. I wish I could have been offline to address you. I wish one day I could come to your school, visit and understand the methods of teaching which you impart. I remember an anecdote that at one time, students belonging to Athens school were 9 heads of different countries, 9 heads of nations passed out from one school. So the Prime Minister of England wrote a letter to the principal of Athens school, being very impressed that what do you teach? Or how do you teach that 9 nations are headed by your students, your alumni? I desire to visit your school, to feel the atmosphere. And do you know, the proposal sent by the Prime Minister to the principal of Athens School was declined. With all politeness in the command, the principal said, "Sir, we cannot allow you to visit our school because that will breach the discipline of our school." He wrote the reasoning that in our school, the level of discipline is such that when the teacher arrives, enters in the classroom, the whole class stands. So the students from that age believe that teacher is almighty. The order and the directions of the teacher cannot be breached. But really, once in a while, when the principal of the school arrives or enters into the classroom, even the teacher stands. So the students get an impression that the principal is super powerful human being. There's none above the principal. But Mr. Prime Minister, sir, if we allow you to visit our school, even the principal, that is I, have to stand up in your honor. And that will breach the discipline from the minds of the students. They'll start thinking that, oh, there is somebody higher and bigger and mightier than the principal. Therefore, we cannot allow you a visit. Looking to the reasoning, the Prime Minister wrote back, requesting him to allow his visit to the school, and he promised that he will enter the classroom first before the teacher, and when the teacher would arrive, he will stand up in the honor of the teacher. And finally, when the principal will arrive, he will again stand up, so that the discipline, the belief in the mind of the students do not get disturbed. And students, with this condition, the Prime Minister was allowed to visit the school. And he did as he promised. I had never visited and never saw Athens School. I just read the story. But looking to the presentation of your school before the speech began, I visualized that what better a school can be, like the Indian school, where you are studying. I must tell you, you all are very fortunate to have such a wonderful school, such a wonderful campus, such a wonderful atmosphere, and what wonderful teachers who have inculcated such wonderful training in you. To add up what your teachers have already taught you, in all humility in my command, I could only say that some of you can consider law as your career. Though I wish those who do not want law as a career must also study law. Because an understanding of law is a basic requirement of life. With the knowledge of law, you are better equipped. The knowledge of law instills power in you. makes you strong, because the knowledge makes you fearless. And law is required on every step of life. Whether you are inside home or you are outside home, law is always there, ubiquitous, like God. It exists. You step out of your house, you must be visiting school, either through school bus or in your own car. But on a red signal, the bus or the car has to stop, because that is the law. And by watching this, you have understood that once the signal is red, I have to stop. But had you had no knowledge of this, can you, when you are caught by crossing the signal when it is red, and you are caught by the policeman giving you ticket, can you say, "Sir, I'm sorry, I did not know that we have to stop at red"? Can you say so? No. Do we have to stop when the signal is red? I did not know. Sorry. Will you be left? The policeman would say, sorry. If you have come out of your house on the road, you must know that you have to stop at red signal. In every step of life, you would confront law. If you want to cross the boundaries of your nation, you need visa. Can you reach anywhere without a visa and say that, oh, I did not know that we require visa? But that is the law. Everywhere, in every step, the knowledge of law is essential. When you take birth, the birth of the child needs registration. There is a birth certificate. And when a person dies, the death has to be registered, and the successors need a death certificate. So you can't come into this world without law. You can't leave the world without law. From first breath to the last breath, law is always there. All that learning which you're doing, when you'll pass out school, you'll get a certificate. When you'll do to college, you'll get a graduation degree. When you'll join any job, these papers, these certificates, these legal documents will be essential. Therefore, primarily, law is an essential part of one's life. In yesteryears, there were limited areas. Geographically, one was constrained because the avenues were not that open. But in today's digital and internet world, sitting in India, I could get an honor to address you all sitting in Oman. This is due to the technology, due to internet. So similarly, sitting in India, I could easily know without purchasing a single book of the law of Oman. I can find it out digitally. Sitting in India, I can be a legal advisor to my clients at Oman. And vice versa. Sitting in Oman, you can provide legal advice in India by mastering Indian laws without visiting India. This is digital world for you. That is why it is said, we are fortunate to have been living in an era where the entire globe has become a village. Everybody knows everything. There's no dearth of knowledge, provided you use the internet for useful purposes. Because even for use of internet, there is law. You cannot escape law. The people of your age sometimes get carried away because there's so much on the net that it is difficult to pick and choose what to watch, what to hear, what to use, and what not. Most of you must have heard about Facebook. Most of you must be knowing WhatsApp. Most of you must have come across Instagram. And there's so many. But do you know Twitter, etc.? For each of these programs, which are so commonly used by most of the people of today's world, they're all governed by law. There are umpteen number of cases which I can cite where one wrong tick provided on the Facebook showing your liking to some comment can put you in jail. This is what had happened in the year 2012. It's a Supreme Court judgment where two minor girls from a village near Bombay called Palghar were arrested because one girl put a post on Facebook and her friend simply liked it. The post was considered to be offensive. So not only the girl who had wrote that, but the girl who simply liked it, both were arrested. On WhatsApp, people so casually receive messages, photographs, videos. They like it and they forward it. But you know, even forwarding something which is obscene or offensive can put you in jail. You can get arrested. You cannot even take a defense that I have not created it. I received from some other place, I simply forwarded it. But even that is an offense because you are a mischief monger. You are spreading something offensive or obscene. So be careful. The law catches you even there. In this digital era, the knowledge of law is essential. But one simple mistake may spoil your career, may land you in jail, may tarnish your reputation. although you may have done it absolutely innocently. You may not have any intention to hurt anybody, no motive. You may have done something in jest. You may have created a joke or forwarded it. If somebody felt offended, may lodge a complaint. So the knowledge of law can only protect you. So those who wish to make law as a career, even for them, the knowledge of law is essential. But those who do not want to make law as a career, even for them, I would suggest and advise, read and understand law. Do some small crash course on law, because you must be aware of the basic understanding and basic knowledge of law. You cannot escape law. It is ubiquitous. It exists surrounding you every moment. As I said, that you breathe, there's law of environment, that you're entitled for fresh air to breathe. You drink water, you are entitled for a potable water. There is law for that. Otherwise, how clean water is coming into your home's tap? Had there not been any law to provide it, you wouldn't be getting potable drinking water at the comforts of your home. You get food. It must be healthy. It must be compliant of certain standards. There is law. So that what you eat, what you drink, what you breathe, everywhere there is law. You can't escape it. Whatever in life you want to do any business, you will have to open a shop. Can you open without getting a license? You'll have to get a shop license to open a shop. There is a law. If you want to do some job, there are certain protections, certain provisions which ensures you that you must get this much salary. For even if you're doing some kind of service or job in a private sector or in a government sector, prescribed period of your working hours are there. Because there is law. For these many hours of service, you must get minimum this much of wages or the salary, because there is law. You must get some period of rest in between your service hours, because there is law. So whether you do a job or you do a business or you do a profession, law is everywhere. And fortunately for your generation, you have unlimited scope. You need not to be in a particular place to know that place's law. Anywhere in the world you are, you can be aware of a law right at your study table, provided you have one laptop or one tab or even on mobile phone. You have to just search. Everything is available. Digitally, you can fill forms. You need not to travel anywhere to fill forms today. You can file petitions sitting at your office. You need not to rush to the court to physically take a printout and submit that, which we used to do. Belonging to lawyer's family, I know that every year, how many books were purchased by our office? We had 14 rooms, big library. And you'd be amazed and surprised to know that today, that 14 rooms, big library is shrinked in my laptop. My laptop, even tab. And do you know that when I travel, I carry my library along with me? Could somebody, my father or grandfather, would have imagined to travel with the entire library consisting of 14 rooms with huge shelves, all full of books? One could not have imagined 25 years ago. Today I travel with all the files of my command, all the briefs which I'm referring to or I'm representing, all my office, entire book, entire library, entire files, everything, I travel along with it. My office travels with me. Those who want to contact me, I need not to be present for physical conference with my clients. I could be any part of the world and still I can do client conferencing. My staff interacts with me on a daily basis without meeting me. This is the digital world for you. I remember earlier, my accountant has to present and open and close the account each day, every day. The cashier has to receive the consultation fee, the arguing fee, the checks or the cash used to be sent by a boy to the bank to go and deposit it. That era is gone. Today, there's no need for cash. There's no need for even checks. The client's conference happens, the fee is deposited right in your bank prior to that. Before I reach court, before I begin to argue, the money is transferred and remitted into my bank account directly from the client's account. Welcome to the digital world, the internet world. So had I been addressing you live at your school offline physically, even then I would have attended my office from Oman, because this is digital world. Online conference, the client would not even know whether I'm in India or I'm in Oman. I could have done so and still earned money. This was unimaginable just a few years ago. I'm live example. When I began the practice of law, this was all not possible. I remember when I began the practice of law, we used to have typewriters. We have almost 22 to 25 typewriters in our office, and those number of employees to type the petitions. And one mistake, you have to begin all over again. Today, with the computers, you need not to type everything all over again. You can just do the corrections. And why corrections? Even auto check is there, auto correct. Petitions are prepared in a jiffy. I remember when I began, it used to take 3 working days to complete one petition. Today, in one day, we file 30 petitions. And why sometimes more? Therefore, I wish you all choose law as a career, because this is the right time and the great era. And those who do not choose law may also devote some time to study law. I'm thankful to your institute and all the students who are in audience, the teachers, and the organizers who have given me an honor and invited me over here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'm here.
That was an extraordinary and inspiring session by you, sir. Your creative session enlightened us and kept each one of us engaged. Now, we would like to request our speaker, Mr. Puneet, to kindly answer a few queries put forth by the audience. For this, may I now invite the moderator of the session, Ms. Asra, to pose some questions from the audience to you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aisha. So we appreciate your involvement and thank you for sparing a valuable time for the session. Really, you had given a very informative session and a great insight to the students who are looking forward for this stream as their career. Here are a few questions in the chat box that I would like to put forward for you, sir. The question that comes to your way is, can students choose civil or criminal law on their own during the course?
There's no such need. See, when you choose law as a career, there is no such distinction at the time or at the stage of studying law. Like if you're doing medical study, you have to read the body anatomy as a whole. The specialization of civil or criminal comes much later. Like once you understand the body anatomy, if you're a medical student, once you understand the entire body, then the specialization, whether you want to become an eye specialist or ENT specialist or heart specialist, comes later. So at the basic level, you do not have such distinctions of civil or criminal law. You have to just begin, and the basic level, you have to do law in entirety. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Over to you, Anuradha.
Thank you, sir, for all your support and guidance given to the large audience by attending to the concerns so patiently during the course of discussion. The time for us to move to the second part of the session. It's time to meet the university spokesperson, Mr. Elder Kuruvilla, with the topic Discovering the Unique Nature Potential of a Child for a Successful Career, out to enlighten us with the various course and the procedure. Mr. Elder Kuruvilla is a serial entrepreneur, a certified career counselor, a member of the International Board of Advisors of BNI. He is the founder of the chief mentor of Ved Aatma Institute and the founder of the Ved Aatma Institute. He is also the co-founder of the Soul Trippy Adventures, private limited company, owner of One Earth Properties, managing partner of Cochin granites. The basil plantations. He works as an accountant in the Arthur Andersons and Co. from 1998 to 2000. Mr. Eldo took his BA honors in economics from St. Stephen College and Master of Business Administration from Griffith University, Australia. Prior to starting off with his own ventures, he worked with Arthur Anderson and AMP Co. and Arcel Corporation. He is certified in various career assessment like MBTI, MMTIC, Strong, certified from Singapore. Eldo's passion for identifying people's potential and his realization for the need to guide students on their ideal career path has led him to establish Ved Aatma in 2017. He has extensive experience in working with students from varied age groups. Over to you, sir.
Am I supposed to leave? Thank you.
Like to thank all those little kids who are listening to this, because here is where we can help you realize your dreams. Now, let me get into why I am here. I am here to talk to you about career counseling for students. But before we get into it, we need to ask ourselves this question. Is there a real need for career counseling? You as parents might wonder, don't kids these days know what studies and careers are around from friends and internet? And after they realize what they need to do, they just need to work hard for it. Or some parents may believe they know their kids so well that as parents, they need to guide their kid in choosing study streams and making those career choices. I'm going to convey here why such thinking by parents is not only wrong, but could also potentially harm your child. Well, the reality is that kids have to make career-related decisions early on in life, like choosing +2 stream after 10th standard and choosing college courses after the 12th. These choices have an impact on the careers they get into later in life. It goes without saying that kids venturing into a study stream and later profession, that is a mismatch, may find themselves in an unfulfilling and unsatisfying career as adults. And landing up in an unsatisfying career not only leads to professional failure in a highly competitive world, but it could also have an impact on the well-being in the personal life as well. If someone is not happy at their work, such dissatisfaction could easily be dragged into the personal life at home as well. This is already a big problem in our country. Let me take you through some survey results. According to this extensive survey done by Times Job across India recently, 8 in 10 employees said they are dissatisfied with their jobs. That's 80% of people saying they're dissatisfied in the current job that they are in. The most striking fact of the survey is this. While there may be many factors contributing to this dissatisfaction, the predominant factor is a feeling that they are not in the right career path. Simply put, 80% of those people had chosen the wrong career path. A similar survey conducted by the international networking company LinkedIn gives us something of a similar result. The survey revealed that only 15% of employees, out of the whole lot, only 15% of employees are completely satisfied in their current career. Put another way, 85% are not happy in their jobs and are actually actively looking for a change in their career. Now, it is important for us to understand the reason why people are getting dissatisfied in their jobs as is evident from all these surveys. It is important because as parents, most of you are about to take a career decision for your child, right from choosing their +2 stream to the college courses they're going to study. Let's have a look at this interesting video.
When you were a kid, you had dreams. Maybe you wanted to be an astronaut, or a lion tamer, or an inventor of something awesome. But as you get older, your interests and passions change, and you discover other things that you love to do. But you have no clue how those interests or passions could actually translate into a real career. On top of that, there's a choir of outside voices that all want to tell you who you are and what you should be. And those voices are hard to ignore, especially if you don't really know yourself. And the tragic thing is, if you don't know yourself or what the best career options are for you, the chances of you ending up here are pretty high.
Now, we all know we don't want our kids to end up there in the dark. So how can we ensure our kids choose study streams and later college courses which will lead them to a career which is best suited for them and ensure professional satisfaction? The answer lies in a systematic, proven method of career counseling for your child using scientific methods at an early age. This will help them make correct decisions regarding choice of +2 streams and college courses. When we talk about making good career choices, there is always a need to answer the 4 W's of career puzzle. The 4 W's of the career puzzle is to find the answer to the who, the what, the where, and the why question. These are the 4 W's. Mostly, parents and students get into the trap of choosing study streams and college courses by only considering the what and the where questions. For instance, after 10th standard, the what question refers to what study stream should I choose for my +2, and the where question refers to the school where they would want to study. For kids after 12th standard, the what question refers to what college courses should they choose, and the where question relates to the college where they would want to study. While the what and the where questions are the answers we're looking for, it should always be considered within the context of the who and the why questions. The who refers to an important aspect of the student. This question refers to the essence of who the student really is. This highlights the student's natural styles of behaving and the internal value systems, the characteristics that define them. The career chosen should be aligned to the essence of who the student is. Otherwise, they may end up in a career they would be struggling to be somebody else in the work all the time. And trying to be somebody else all the time is going to be a tough task. The why question is mostly missed out in the career puzzle. In fact, even many adults don't ask themselves this question and end up leading unsatisfied professional careers. The why question refers to the internal motivation of the student. Why should I choose this line of work which will add value and meaning in my life? That's a why. For instance, for some students, this could be accuracy, precision, and getting it right in their work. For others, it could be making a meaningful difference in other people's lives. Yet for some others, it could be about mastering knowledge and developing systems. So you see, what adds meaning is different for different students. If we can identify that meaning the student is looking for early enough, it would really be channeling them towards their mission in life. So in a nutshell, a systematic, personalized career counseling approach helps the student to answer all the 4 W's of the career puzzle. This will definitely give them a jump start in life and channelize them in the right direction. One of the other pressing reasons why a formalized career counseling is needed is also because the world is changing rapidly due to unprecedented technological advances and disruptions. Technology is progressing at a fast pace, and digital transformation has changed the world at an unprecedented rate in this past decade. A detailed look at the world around us will help us realize the changes we've embraced in a short span of time, and more changes are surely to follow. We all know Google, Uber, Amazon, these are all part of our daily lives now. The disruptive changes to business model will have a profound impact on the employment landscape over the coming years, ranging from significant job creation, but at the same time to job displacement as well. I was going through a report on the future of jobs by World Economic Forum, and these piqued my curiosity. The report said, by a popular estimate, 65% of children entering primary school today will ultimately end up working in a completely new job that don't exist yet. I'm going to repeat that. The report said, by a popular estimate, 65% of children entering primary school will ultimately end up working in a job that doesn't exist. I am sure none of us would have ever imagined this to happen. While it is really interesting to hear about job types that don't exist today, it is also scary when we think about the preparation the child should undergo, given the fact that we have absolutely no clue what might happen in the future, isn't it? Artificial intelligence and automation could displace millions of jobs and workers, making once flourishing industries obsolete. It is expected that almost 40% of today's jobs would never be relevant in the coming years. But at the same time, new age careers are coming up in every sector. Look around us. Most of the in-demand occupations or specialities that are present now in many industries did not exist 10 years ago, even though new career options are emerging year after year. Are our kids really aware of all these options? Lack of awareness of these technological changes and new career options in the market can lead to a very narrow and limited choice in careers, which might not be best suited for your child. It is quite alarming to know majority of the kids are not aware about the options they have when it comes to careers. Let me share the result of a recent survey on career option awareness among Indian students. This survey reveals that a staggering 90% of the students aged 14 to 21 were aware of just 7 career options, which are the conventional ones. Your normal engineering, medicine, management, law, accounts and finance, computer applications and IT and designing. That's it. 7 of them. That's it. That's all that they knew. 93% of students. Another study in the educational sector revealed many shocking figures, and as a nation, we have a long way to go. This study shows 85% of the students in the country are concerned about which option to choose for higher education, while 92% of the students do not get professional career counseling help at all. Even still, an alarming high number of students are aware about only 7 career options. While we still have a plethora of career options, at least 250 career options available in India itself for a student to choose from. When it comes to deciding one's career path, a lot of students rely on themselves and fall into that same old trap of I know it all, and thus end up choosing a wrong career path. Here again, a good career counseling process will take into account all these drastic technological disruptions happening in the world. It takes a long-range view with regard to job market. And most importantly, a good career counseling will make your child aware of the multitude of options to choose from. Now, sometimes it's not the kids, but we as parents could also be obstructing a good career choice for your child. In the typical Indian scenario, parents invariably play a pivotal role in the career decisions of their child. And some parents follow a hands-on approach when it comes to making career decisions for their child. Such a kind of approach might not work, as the interests and work preferences of the child could be entirely different from that of the parent. It is best that the student is channelized into a career which suits them individually in their own way and not based on parental preferences. Another big reason why parents should step back is also because of the fact that the world is rapidly changing around us. While in the past, a parent could potentially guide their child in the right direction because they had the experience in the world of work, the same don't hold true now. Compared to the past, new opportunities are emerging while old stable jobs could be becoming obsolete, which you knew as parents, with all those technological advances and disruptions. So we as parents might not be aware of all these critical changes happening around us and may hence end up making a wrong career decisions for your child. It goes without saying, a child venturing into a profession that is a mismatch may later find himself or herself in an unfulfilling and unsatisfying career. So what should parents and kids do? This is the perfect time for them to seek career counseling, as they need a professional to guide them in the right direction at this time. Career counseling is essential for choosing appropriate study streams after 10th standard, college courses after 12th standard, and even choosing careers best suited for each student, as identifying the ideal career path early enough gives them a clear jumpstart in life. This will ultimately ensure that a student will end up in the right career path, resulting in both professional and personal satisfaction. While we all appreciate the fact that every child is unique, I am sure many amongst you would have never thought about your child's unique natural potential. What is that potential that is unique and natural to your child? While it may seem like a vague terminology, it really is not. One way to think about the unique natural potential of your child is to look at the convergence of three aspects of your child: your child's personality, your child's interest, and your child's aptitude. Now let's look at each of them in detail. Aptitude is the natural talent or skills or inclination for certain types of activities. It is the ability of your child to do something better than others. Aptitude or skills could range from verbal ability to mathematical ability to artistic ability. There are many varied skills in the world, and we all know that different children have different skill sets. The second aspect of unique natural potential is the interest of your child. There are two kinds of interests your child could have. First, the leisure interests, or what we call your child's hobbies. Second, career interest, or those interests which form part of your child's career later in life. While leisure interests are an important part of one's life, since we focus on career counseling here, we are more interested in the career interests of your child. Of course, we all understand children have unique interests which are different from each other for sure. The third and most important aspect of unique natural potential is the personality of your child. Your child's characteristics and behaviors mold his or her personality. Now, we all know we are different from each other. That's a given. I know for sure that even though I get along like wildfire with my best friend, I'm a lot different from him. Likewise, your child has a unique personality and is different from the other children. So now when we combine these three aspects of aptitude, interest, and personality, we get something very unique about your child's unique natural potential. Now that we understand the unique natural potential, let us discuss why unique natural potential is important when it comes to careers. I've had the opportunity to counsel many students, and when I ask them why they're studying, I always get one answer. Well, there's of course, increasing their knowledge and everything, but they're all very clear that they're studying to finally get a job. Now, if all students agree that they're studying, whether it's in school or college, and even beyond that, to finally land up in a job, we need to talk about what matters in any career. Now, here is the most important point I'm going to make. In any career, these three aspects of aptitude, interest, and personality plays pivotal roles. Now, let's look at aptitude. Aptitude relates to, the kind of skills a student has. Now, let me ask you something. Let's look at an accountant. What kind of skills does an accountant need? We all know an accountant needs arithmetical skills, right? He needs to be good with his numbers. He needs to be good in math. Now let's look at another career, like a surgeon. Is it then the math skills the surgeon needs? No, it's not the math skills. A surgeon needs dexterity, because the precision use of hands will come into play for a surgeon. Now, the other things, he needs to have in-depth knowledge of, the scientific knowledge. So a surgeon doesn't need arithmetic skills, and an accountant doesn't need precision use of hand skills. You see, different careers requires different skills in that particular job. Now, if a student already has the skill that is required in the job, the student will know how to do that job better. So aptitude, as you can see, relates to capability to do the job better. If you have the aptitude of the skill, you can do the job better. Aptitude, that circle relates to capability in a job. Let's move on to the next one, the interest circle. Now, when there are many options in life now for students to get in different careers. But one thing is for sure, after the student gets into a career, he needs to stick on, or she needs to stick on with the career for a while. The student don't, when they are in the job, don't want to be getting up in the morning and dragging themselves to work. They need to get up in the morning, be enthusiastic enough, thumb their fist and say, let me get on with my work. That's the kind of feeling that should come in. Now, where does it come from? See, unless you're interested in what you're doing, you won't be motivated in that job. So that circle of interest relates to being motivated in the job. Unless there is an interest in that specific field or line of work, it goes without saying there won't be motivation. And without motivation, there will be failure. Now, let's come to the personality circle. I'm going to talk through this, through a couple of examples. Let's say a person who is soft-spoken, doesn't like to interact with people too much, has his own comfort zones, but he is very uncomfortable meeting new people. That person has finished all his studies and he's gotten to his first job. And guess what the job is? It's being a sales manager. And in the job, that person is required to go meet 100 people in a week to sell a particular product. Now, imagine what I'm trying to convey here. This person doesn't enjoy meeting strangers. And this person has landed up in a job where this person has to meet so many people, new people, to sell that product. Do you think this person would be successful in the work? Absolutely not. And why not? It's very clear. This person is trying to be somebody else in that work. While he is not very comfortable meeting new people, he's being pushed into meeting new people just because that job requires him to do it. See, the problem is when you are in a job which doesn't match your personality, you're always trying to be somebody else in that job. And being somebody else in the job day in and day out is not easy. You can't be somebody else all the time in your work. You'll definitely fail. So personality is very important because your personality traits needs to match the kind of traits that's required in that career. If you can be just yourself in a career, then it leads to immense satisfaction. See, you're not being anybody else. You're just being yourself. And imagine how smooth that would be. There's some kind of internal satisfaction that comes with it. So selecting a career using unique natural potential would ensure your child select a best fit career in which your child is capable, which is motivating for your child, and finally, immensely satisfying for your child. That is the reason why we are looking at unique natural potential. It is very important your child lands up in a career finally in which your child is capable, motivated, and satisfied in the long run.
Unique natural potential is the convergence of your personality, interest, and aptitude. First, aptitude are skills that you are naturally good at. All careers and jobs need particular skills. Having these skills or aptitude would make you capable to do the particular job well. Second, interest in any particular career leads to motivation to do that better. Without interest in it, same won't be motivating at all and can lead to frustration. Third, personality is the sum of behavior and characteristics you have. It defines you to yourself and others. It is the essence of who you really are. If you landed in a career which requires you to continuously express behaviors which are not your natural self, this can lead to dissatisfaction in the long run. Simply put, you will be struggling to be someone else at your work. Imagine how easy the career would be if you could just be yourself at work. It would lead to immense career satisfaction.
Now that we've covered why career counseling is important, and more specifically, the importance of discovering the unique natural potential in deciding careers, we come to the next question. So how can we discover this unique natural potential that we're talking about, specifically for your child? In other words, how can we identify the personality, the career interest, and the aptitude of your child? Here is where psychometric assessment comes in. These assessments help us in identifying the personality, interest, and aptitude of your child in a scientific manner. Nowadays, many employers, including many of the Fortune 500 companies, choose to use psychometric assessments during recruitment process for better evaluation of a candidate, hopefully to secure the best fit person for the role. So in the educational context, it also makes sense for us to use psychometric assessments in career counseling, where we can help a student figure out what's best for him or her in choosing the right career options. Psychometric assessments are indispensable to the career counseling process, as it helps the counselor and the student understands the student's real capabilities, interests, and personality type, which otherwise the student might have overestimated or even ignored. A well-validated psychometric assessment provides an objective measure of all these aspects and form a robust foundation for making the right career decisions. Psychometric assessments are extensively used for career counseling in advanced economies, but counselors were slow in adapting this in our country. One of the main reasons for this was the fact that some of the better psychometric assessments needed certifications to use by the counselors. And these certification courses were not available in India in the past. Now, with these certifications possible within India itself, more and more counselors are able to get certified and use these assessments for the betterment of students. Things are changing now for the better, and the use of psychometric assessments in India is growing at a fast pace of 10 to 15% annually. For sure, a question in the minds of parents and kids will be, yes, we understand and appreciate the importance of psychometric assessments, but there are so many in the market, so which one should we use? Valid point. Now let's discuss few psychometric assessments which are world-renowned and which are considered as a gold standard amongst psychometric assessments. One of the most trusted and widely accepted assessment for personality is a Myers-Briggs type indicator. more commonly known as MBTI. As you can see here, MBTI is the world's most widely used personality assessment. It is suitable for students for class 9 to working professionals. 89 of Fortune 100 companies, these are the world's top 100 companies, use MBTI. Top educational institutions worldwide, especially Ivy League colleges, many other different countries, rely on MBTI as a fundamental tool for career development for their students. MBTI is supported by scientific research for more than 70 years. It's been around in the world for a long, long time. It also has been extensive cross-cultural references. It means it's been used in various different countries, and it's been translated to more than 30 languages. Another widely accepted assessment is a strong interest inventory. This is used for ascertaining the interest of a student. As you can see here, strong interest inventory assessment is one of the world's most trusted career planning tools. 6 general occupational themes reveals preferred work environments of the student. 30 basic interest scales narrow down a student's specific areas of interest. There are 5 personal style scales which interpret students' preferred style of working, learning, leading, risk-taking, and even team participation. And amazingly, this assessment also throws open the world of work and let the kid explore 130 occupations that are there in this world. 2 other aspects also make both MBTI and strong assessments more reliable and valid. First, only counselors certified in these assessments can use it with students. Hence, only experienced counselors who has been trained to use these assessments can even use it. Second, both MBTI and strong assessments are not just administered to the student, but it also needs to be validated through the feedback session with the student by a certified counselor. This means that even though the student takes these assessments online, the result of these online assessment is only given to the student after a one-on-one verification process between the student and the counselor. So what this means is, even if the student was distracted, let's say, while taking the assessment online, any errors that may have happened because the student was careless or not concentrating can be rectified in the counseling process. Hence, the result of this assessment will end up being more accurate and valid. And if you're going to use these assessments for deciding something as important as choosing careers, it makes all the more sense that we rely on a valid and accurate assessment. I've discussed earlier how the unique natural potential of your child is a combination of their personality, interest, and aptitude. I hope all of you got a brief idea about the importance of career counseling, unique natural potential of your child, psychometric assessments, and how we can match the unique natural potential to different careers. The career decision-making process becomes more scientific and logical and easy for you as parents and for your child when done through a proper career counseling process. At our company, Ved Aatma, we have helped hundreds of students and parents go through this process over the last 3 years. So what makes us different? How does Ved Aatma stand out from the rest? We use world-class psychometric assessments in the process. As discussed earlier, we use MBTI assessment for identifying the personality type and strong interest inventory for identifying career interest. These assessments can be taken online by the student from the comforts of their home. Highly personalized one-to-one counseling is our hallmark. Unlike group counseling, we have individual counseling sessions with each student. Again, these counseling sessions are done online through a Zoom platform. Once a candidate completes these assessments, personalized one-to-one online counseling sessions are scheduled based on the mutual availability of the kid, the parent, and the counselor. The counselor will spend over 6 hours with each student. These are 2-hour-long sessions spread over 3 sessions on 3 different days, so that the student is not tired. It's just 2 hours each day. Parents are welcome to join in these sessions as silent observers, because of course, they're going to also be an integral part of making the decision for their child. One of the major differentiators of our company, Ved Aatma, is our counselors themselves. All our counselors are not only experienced and seasoned professional, but they are all certified in MBTI and strong. This will add immense value for the kids in the form of guidance and recommendations when our counselors handhold them in choosing their best fit study stream and college courses. Now that I'm ending my presentation, let me play a video of the Ved Aatma counseling process for your better understanding.
Ved Aatma means self-knowledge. And through this in-depth knowledge of self, we help every student become their best. We guide students through this exciting process of self-discovery, helping them find answers to questions like, who am I? What am I passionate about? What are my skills and strengths? This discovery enables them to make an informed choice related to study streams and careers that are best suited for them, ensuring professional success and personal satisfaction. How does it work? We identify a student's unique natural potential using world-renowned career assessments. This is the convergence of their personality, interest, and aptitude. These assessments can be done online at the student's convenience at home. After these assessments, the student needs to attend 3 online one-to-one counseling sessions with a certified counseling expert. Parents can join as observers. By the end of session 3, we help the student identify his or her unique potential, which in turn helps in choosing the best fit study streams and careers. Why us? We use world-class assessments like MBTI and strong interest inventory, which are gold standards in career assessments. Unlike group counseling sessions in schools, we offer individual online counseling. We spend over 6 hours spread over 3 sessions with each student, ensuring a highly personalized counseling experience. Who benefits? Students in classes 9 and 10 to select their study streams in +2. Students in classes 11 and 12 to choose college courses. Students in college to select postgraduate courses or their best suited careers. Visit us on www.vedatma.com for more information.
Thank you very much for the informative session. And we are sure that the process of exploring and inquiring has begun in the minds of my friends and parents. I'm sure there's bound to be a few questions. Let us take up 1 or 2 of them. Over to the moderator, Ms. Asra.
Thank you, Anuradha. Good evening, sir. Let me quickly scan some questions received in the chat box. Here comes the first question, sir. You have mentioned that technology has been rapidly changing the job landscape in this scenario. How necessary is it for the students to have a technical skill like coding?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that question. I think I get that question a lot. So I think it's a very relevant question to answer. So I think I'll take some time to answer that because I think it's important that the parents and the students attending this know. See, as intelligent automation, brings in unprecedented changes. We know, we hear artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these words getting thrown around, and along with that coding and all that, we should understand that, as these usher in changes, the nature of jobs itself is going to undergo substantial changes, right? See, the skills needed in this future jobs will constantly change as technology will cover more aspects of these jobs in the future, right? And human element will be pushed into behavioral skills like, the ability to adapt, ability to prioritize, working in teamworks, in a team. All those things are what the human element would be pushed into in the job. So to answer your question, while it may be useful to think about like coding, data mining, Although in the short term, these technical skills will also be constantly changing or even becoming redundant as newer technical skills will emerge as technology progress, right? So we shouldn't ever think about things like coding and data mining and all that. That is, once we learn it, it's for a lifetime. We should never think in those terms. Quite the opposite, because some of these technical skills that we learn could actually has to be sometimes constantly relearned or upskilled or even discarded totally, because things would have changed so much that you have to turn new technical skills. So you might be asking me, okay, so what is relevant now, right? So I would say that the focus for everybody is, okay, obviously technical skills in the short term might be good, but also for all the parents and students, focus on your behavioral skills. Rather the 4 C's, what we call in the educational, scenarios. The 4 C's are critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity. These are the 4 C's that we talk about. Those are very important going ahead for us to stay relevant in the job market. One of the most important things to be learned for future would be the ability to deal with change, right? To learn new things and to preserve your mental balance when things are changing around you. Look what happened to all of us the last 2 years with COVID and all the changes and all the adaptation that we had to do, right? So that is one thing that you have to keep in mind, right? The ability to deal with change. That's a really good thing to learn, right? See, these are not my opinions, but even today, a lot of reports around the world has highlighted that it is actually not the technical skills that people lack, but behavioral skills, right? For in this India itself, let's talk about India. India's skills report, the latest one, talked about communication, adaptability, teamwork. These are all behavioral skills, right? That are most preferred by employers, not actually technical skills, right? And even across the world, there was a research by IBM, the big company IBM, across 50 countries, wherein it was again found what people really need are the behavioral skills to actually stay relevant in the top positions in a company, right? And it's not the technical skills alone. So I would say the focus for the future, while the technical skills might be good for the short term, you should also focus on the behavioral skills. In fact, I think developing this complex hybrid behavioral skills would be one of the biggest opportunities in the educational scenario in schools, in colleges, and even later in companies. Yeah, so I guess I've answered that question.
So the way you are getting connected to us, we feel like listening more to you.
Thank you so
We
much.
have another question for you, sir. Okay, so we have been hearing that certain fields like artificial intelligence and business analytics are the domains of the future with great career prospects. So, but most of these fields are to do with technology. What if a student is not interested in anything digital or technical? Are there any other fields with excellent scope for growth?
Excellent question again. I think it's a very relevant question because we get a lot of parents who gets worried, right? Because there's so much talk of technology these days, and these parents get worried. Okay, we know it's good, but our kid is not very technologically inclined, right? So what happens then? So it's a very relevant question. See, I would say since technology has pervaded or crept across almost every industry, the general notion is that the future belongs to emerging applications like we get those words thrown around: machine learning and AI and technology. See, however, we should all understand, all the kids here also listening, technology is only one facet of business, right? From a careers perspective, it is just an enabler that enhances the scope of work in several fields. Firstly, let's talk about technology itself, science and technology itself. While the spotlight seems to be on things like, AI and machine learning, there are a lot of other avenues, even within technology, that are developing at a fast, incredible pace, like biomedical engineering, data privacy, smart building design. We all know about climate change, right? Climate change mitigation, sustainability, I mean, even why not take it to a different level, even space tourism, right? There are so many different fields within technology that's emerging. It's not AI alone and, coding or anything that you shouldn't think about only those things. Now, for your specific question, if you look at other career domains, not centrally focusing on technology, you will actually find there are a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of new age occupations. For example, let's talk about a student who's interested in humanities, right? Very different from technology. What about humanities? See, people interested in humanities can venture into new age careers such as genetic counselor, technology ethicist. See your Facebooks and a lot of these companies, they have ethicists who actually would say, no, don't do this. Let's not invade people's privacy so much. So there's a big scope there. Technology ethicists, right? Neuropsychologists, social policy analysts, urban planners, urban agricultural specialists. Have you thought about that? Right? I mean, when you actually bring in, concentration of urbanization is going to kind of increase. But what about agriculture within urban areas? The other things are in humanities, life coach, right? That's coaching and counseling is becoming big. Career counselor, right? What I'm doing right now, right? Self-enrichment teachers, diversity specialists. See, there are so many, I can keep on going on, right? In humanities, there's so many of them. In the artistic realm, like some kids are artistic, right? So what about fields within that? See, there are so many things like social media coordinator, user experience specialist, gamification. That's big, right? Now you hear about those word gamification, game and gamification designers, art therapist, right? Space habitat designer. You can take it to a different level altogether. Industrial designer, like, now we talk about sustainability. What about upcycling furniture, repurposing furniture? There's so many interesting fields out there, right? Even within artistic realm. Now I know just before me, the speaker was a lawyer. So if people are interested in law, there are lucrative specialization much later in law, of course. But there are things like cyber law, immigration law. There's so many things now in the world, it's a global world. So a lot of immigration laws and all that thing, intellectual property rights. That's a big one again. See, what I'm trying to convey here is you take any different domains, right? There are enough of occupations that's coming up. What needs to be remembered is, as long as we identify the kids' potential, there are enough and more opportunities out there. Having said that, two things that you need to keep in mind, that, like I explained in my presentation, always keep in mind that it's not a job for the, that one job is for the rest of your life. I think that's not the case now anymore. A lot of jobs that we might think exist might become obsolete, that, like I explained, while a lot of new jobs might come into place. So that's the first thing that to keep in mind. Second, it is never ever a job for life. Sometimes, especially now the kids growing up, always think about learning new things, relearning things, upskilling, reskilling. All those skilling are very important to stay relevant in the job market in the future. Those are the only things that you need to keep in mind. But otherwise, there are enough and more opportunities out there. I hope I've answered that.
Of course, infinite doors you are open for our viewers and students. Thank you very much. Over to you, Aisha.
Thank you very much, sir, for the insightful answers. We have many queries, and yes, the students can access the mobile app and the questions will be directly addressed. As we draw the end of this enriching session, I deem it my great privilege to propose the word of thanks. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Sri PUNEET CHATURVEDI, for all his words of motivation. Thank you, sir. We express our gratitude for Mr. Eldo Kurula, spokesperson for the Ved Aatma University, for sharing us details and giving us an overview of the career guidance. Thank you, sir. A deeper sense of appreciation and gratitude to Chairman Dr. Sivakumar Manikim and the members on the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Our heartfelt thanks to the President, Mr. Ajay Payara, and the members of Indian School Vouchers, School Management Committee, and the Principal of the school, Dr. Bhavesh Balerao. We present a video of our valued sponsors and a heartfelt thanks to our platinum sponsor, JAME Deemed to be University, gold sponsors, De Montfort University, silver sponsors, Dallas Baptist University, USA, Grey Matters, SP Jain School of Global Management, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, bronze sponsor, Middle East College, SP Jain School of Global Management. Digital marketing partner, Spectrum and Trifoil. Media partner, the Arabian Stories and Value Donors. And powered by the support sponsors. Over to the video.
Requesting every attendee to submit the feedback form, and every attendee who submits the feedback form will receive a digital certificate. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. Thank you to the ISB team for making Avenir 2022 possible. Thank you to the teachers, students, and parents for being a part of this session.
With these uplifting words, I, Aisha,
and I, Anuradha,
wish you all a glorious day ahead. You can provide your feedback on the Avenir website www.avenioman.com. Every attendee who submits the feedback form will receive a digital certificate. See you in the next session.